Good afternoon, Delaware. I'm Dani Roth for WVUD. Our lead story at this hour: the University of Delaware's programming team participated in the Annual Association for Computing Machinery's International Collegiate Programming Contest on November 1st, finishing 11th among 188 teams in the Mid-Atlantic region. 4 UD students, under the direction of David Saunders, professor in the Department of Computer and Information Sciences, competed in 8 programming challenges during the 5-hour event. UD pulled a first-place finish at the Washington College site, one of the 8 regional locations for the contest. The ACM is the oldest, largest, and most prestigious programming contest in the world. UD students Kan Duong, Andre Marianello, Ryan McKenna, and Alexander Stashnik represented the computer science department well. 2 Delaware students, Laura Holt and Rose Sun, were named recipients of Outstanding Delegate Awards at the University of Pennsylvania Model United Nations Conference held in Philadelphia. The students were part of the UD Model UN team that participated in the national competition with about 1,200 students from universities all over the country, including host Penn, Harvard, Yale, and several other distinguished institutions. Both committees worked on crisis situations, in which work is exceptionally fast-paced, with new problems arising every 30 minutes. Holt is an international relations major, and Sun an honors political science student. And in Bridgeville, Delaware today, Delaware State Police have arrested a man they say operated a meth lab in his home. Troopers say after a months-long investigation, they raided a house on Rabbit Run Road early yesterday. A resident of the home is charged with numerous drug and weapons offenses. And now in national news, a U.S. official estimates there are over 3,000 active cases of Ebola in West Africa, many of them in small clusters dotted throughout the countryside, that requires a more rapid and flexible response. Rajiv Shah, an administrator of the U.S. Agency for International Development, calls the worrisome clusters microepidemics and told a congressional committee today that the goal is to create mini treatment centers to prevent any further spread of the virus. The Obama administration is seeking more than $6 billion in emergency aid to continue fighting Ebola in West Africa and ensuring U.S. preparedness. West Virginia is updating its tax forms to reflect court rulings overturning the state's ban on same-sex marriage. A recent administrative notice filed by the state tax department says gender will no longer be considered when married couples' personal income tax filings are processed. The agency is updating the language in all of its materials to remove terms such as husband and wife. A Connecticut inmate awaiting execution for his role in the killings of a woman and her 2 daughters is refusing to eat prison food he believes is not kosher. Stephen Hayes sued the Department of Corrections in August, alleging it would not serve him a kosher diet. In a handwritten complaint made public yesterday, Hayes claims he hasn't eaten kosher food since August 24th and now weighs less than 120 pounds when he entered the facility at 170. Hayes says the system is forcing him to starve or go against God. And now in sports, the UD volleyball team concludes its 2014 regular season this weekend as the Blue Hens host Elon and UNC Wilmington in a pair of crucial conference matches. Delaware, which is 14-15 overall and 7-7 in the Colonial Athletic Association, faces both teams at 7 p.m. this Saturday. The Blue Hens are currently tied for 5th place in the CAA and have already clinched a spot in next week's league tournament. With a pair of victories this weekend, UD could finish as high as 4th place in the conference standings. Men's soccer has a rising star in Guillermo Delgaso, this year's Colonial Athletic Association Player of the Year. After a season that saw the Blue Hens win the CAA regular season title for the first time in program history, 6 UD men's soccer players received honors yesterday. Delgaso, who won the CAA Rookie of the Year last year, established himself as one of the premier goal scorers in the country last season and continued his drive through his sophomore campaign. The midfielder led the Blue Hens and the CAA and ranks number 5 in the NCAA with 12 goals and 2 assists this season. The Blue Hens play in the semifinals tomorrow night at the Grant Stadium. On the University of Delaware campus tonight, the Art History on the Steps series will present a discussion about the film The Monuments Men at 5 p.m. on the second-floor lobby of Old College. The presentation is sponsored by UD's Department of Art History and the Art History Club, together with the Department of Art Conservation and University Museums. The presentation will include a wide range of speakers, all with diverse backgrounds in art history and culture. And now with a